So I just got off work and I was ready to jump into my car and drive to a running club after a day's work in Houston, only to find that my car was not here in the parking lot. It turns out you're not allowed to park in the parking lot covered spaces unless you're assigned it. And it seems I missed that in the Airbnb listing, or it's not there because I checked the listing and directions and house manual again, and I don't see any tips for it. So apparently they towed it. The homeowners or the home security place here, they towed my car to another location. And when I called in to try and get that resolved, they say you have to show up to our location while we're still open. We close at 7 with $300 cash, a driver's license, and the documentation and all this other stuff. And the issue is the stuff I needed to get that in my wallet is in the car. And when I asked, they said the guy on the phone said he refused to give me any of that. He says, you're going to have to figure it out on your own. I'm not giving you any opportunities. He used the word opportunities to get any of that. And I'm like, well, I'm not, how am I supposed to get that? And he was very uncooperative, very not nice. I checked the reviews for this place, and of course, they're pretty terrible. I guess he's probably is able to be so mean because of the business he's in. And, he's just kind of the collector service, and he makes it really tough. And these people are already mad. So he's just like, why not be mad back or rude back? So here I am in this predicament. I'm probably going to have to skip that running club I was going to, which would have been nice, but it was also a 30-minute drive away, but the best social thing I could come up with today. And it's just going to be a stay at home. But on top of all that, we have this new issue with this car being gone. So what am I going to do? I don't know. It really does suck, but I've been in situations like this, and this happens with travel. Sometimes in a new foreign place, unexpected things happen. I mean, just a couple months ago, I got locked out of my Airbnb by being stupid, and I didn't take my phone or keys or anything with me. I ultimately had to call the Airbnb hotline from a grocery store that I drove to, and they were able to get me back into the house. Now, in this case, what am I going to do? Well, luckily, I do have a digital copy of my ID on my phone. Hopefully that helps. I checked the reviews on this towing service company. It sucks. A lot of them, the reviews are saying that some of them would show up with all this documentation and all this stuff, but it wasn't enough. And then they had to call the police to convince the towing company to release the vehicle, even with all this documentation. So it really is a mess. This towing company seems to be very unsupportive. And then this neighborhood, apparently they have this problem with parking, even though there's so many empty spaces here. So with all that being said, look, I know it really does suck, but at the end of the day, I think my biggest fears are really getting mugged, dying, fatal injury, or going to a city and just realizing there's nothing really to do, or never finding that awesome city for me. In this case, it really does seem to be a pickle I'm in, but I'm sure in some way, shape, or form, I will find a way to get my car back, despite those limitations, hopefully. And it will be yet another big hit in my money, which really does suck. But it is what it is. Maybe I can convince Airbnb or the host to recompensate me in some way, shape, or form. But if not, another lesson learned. There's a chance I may not be able to get this documentation, but I think I have to because, my wallet, all my stuff, my ID is in there. My credit cards. So, hopefully I can get that. But, worst case situation, the car gets wrecked, destroyed, all the stuff inside gets lost. That would really suck. but hopefully I could get it reissued, you know, back from my home state, at least my driver's license. And then the other stuff, credit cards, hopefully can be reissued. I'm sure they can, ATM cards and so forth. So I think the biggest issue is ATM services, but perhaps I can drive to a bank and see if I could make a withdrawal with an Uber or something.